Hi, this is Loran Swenson with AO Scan, and welcome to another video in our instructional video series. This video will focus on doing a vitals scan. And so to get started, locate your icon on your desktop and double click. And it will open up your main program, bring you to your main page. First thing we need to do is make sure we've selected our client. If we're just coming into the program, click on Select Client. Two ways to bring up your client. Click in the top box, enter in the first four letters of the last name, making sure you capitalize the first one, and select Client, and that'll bring up your client. If that's the one you need, click Save. Select Technician, make sure that the proper technician is highlighted, and then click back again, and then left click one time on Programs and right click or left click again on Vital Scan. Now this will bring up the Vital Scan page, and if it's the first time this client's ever been scanned, it will bring up a blank report, the first page of the first report. There are 7 categories in this report, and each one has 2 to 7 pages. So the blood report has 2 pages. You can highlight page 1, blood 1, or blood 2, and it shows you. And on the back page, the last page of every single report, there is the disclaimer at the bottom. Okay, so on chakras, it shows you the 2 pages again. So let's go back to blood real quick. If you'll notice on this report, you've got your categories going from top to bottom, and then you have a low, a normal, a high, and then you have another low, normal, or high with a heading Previous Scan, so that you can see the scan prior to the one you're doing right now. So that's how your report is set up. On chakra, you see your current and previous one on top of the other. And on the chakra 2, on the back page there, again, is the disclaimer, but also a brief explanation of each chakra and the effect that they have when they're not in balance on the different organs of the body. Gastrointestinal, again, same. Low, normal, high, and then the previous scan, low, normal, high, and their different categories. And the last page with the disclaimer. The meridian is similar to the chakras. You have the current one on the top and the previous on the bottom. And if you look, it's a little hard on this screen, but when you see the actual report, you can actually see the meridian lines for each meridian. And then on the back page of meridian, again, an explanation of each meridian and the disclaimer. Nutritional Analysis has 3 pages, and it's a little bit different because it's just either normal or deficient. And then you have the previous scan, normal or deficient. So easy to read, easy to understand, similar to a normal test that they would get if they went to a normal blood lab. Again, your second page, and then your third page with the disclaimer at the end. Physical functionality has 6 reports. Low, normal, high, and each section of the report has its categories, all the things that it can scan, and again, back page, last page is the disclaimer. Toxicities is the biggest one with 7 pages. Again, this is back, it's either, and each one is slightly different. In this one, it's either positive or negative, and then a previous scan, all the way through the different pages, and then all the way down to the bottom with your disclaimer at the bottom. Okay, so these are all the pages of the report. It will scan all of them, and then you're able to email this report, and it's a total of 24 pages. So to begin, we just click Scan. Now, if you'll notice at the bottom, all it has is technician here. So before we hit Scan, we took one glance and found that we don't have our client. So we need to go back again, select the client, make sure that we have our client entered Then go back and hit your program, your vitals. Now you'll notice the client and the technician are loaded. It's really important. It's really easy to miss a step and not actually get your client. So there you see your client is loaded in and the technician right below. Everything's good. Okay, so now that we've got everything ready, go ahead and just click scan. Once you've clicked scan, the scanning process will immediately begin. You'll see graphics over to the left that are indicating that the scan is in process. There are 7 reports in this scan, and as it goes through each report has anywhere from 2 to 7 pages, and it will scan each item on every page. And when it has done all 7 reports and finished that scan, then the graphic will stop and the report will be displayed. Now this is the first report, and like when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're speaking, and all of a sudden the individual you're speaking to will stop you and say, wait a second, can you say that again? Because they weren't truly engaged in that discussion at that point. They weren't paying attention. Same thing kind of is happening here, because now we've started a communication with the brain, and the brain wasn't completely ready for it. So we want to take this first scan, disregard it, and redo the scan. But instead of redoing the scan from clicking the scan button, we click the frequency optimization. And what happens here is it will now go through each one of those 7 reports once again, looking at those frequencies and optimizing them each way, or each one all the way through the scan. And then it will display that final report at the end. And what it will do when you look at that report, on the right of the report, you'll see previous scan, and it will have the results of the previous scan, the one that we just did previously, to the right. And then on the center of the page, you'll see the current scan, and that's the scan that has been optimized. In other words, everything has been double checked that the frequencies went in and were received properly in the brain. And that is the scan we want to go with. And that completes this scan. And then when you're all done, you can simply click email report, and it will email those 7 reports to the client. Hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.